Hello guys, today we're gonna learn about the immune system. So, have you ever gotten a cut on your finger, knee, face, or anywhere? Alright, if you've gotten one, you probably wait for a week, and then what you see is that you take off that bandage and just see a nice little faint red mark. But have you ever thought of the drama that happens inside your body? Well, that's what we're going to learn about today. Before that, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. So, guys, you see here that today our topic is the immune system, the system that protects you. So, let's just see. This is a person who has a cut. Now, this person, and I mean, these red marks are bacteria. Now, these bacteria want to go inside the wound, and this is what they want to do. So the bacteria wants to use your cells to multiply and take over your body, which means death for you guys. So for this, we have the immune system. So we have the immune system to protect us from viruses and bacteria. So when the attack happens, cells that survive the impact send chemical signals to alert your immune system that there's an attack. So the bacteria or viruses is invading, and the cells are saying that there's an alert. I mean, the cells are saying that we have an attack here. So that's what's happening. So our first line of defense is the macrophages. So the macrophages start eating the bacteria and ripping them inside its body. Yeah, they can eat up to 100 bacteria until they are exhausted. And we're going to go to the next one. Now you can see only a macrophage can only eat 100 bacteria before it's exhausted and calls for backup. Neutrophils pick up these signals and make it to the battlefield. These are crazy suicide warriors that only live to kill. They only live to kill, guys, and kill themselves a few days after birth. So they just kill themselves after a few days after birth. That's it. A fluid from your bloodstream enters the battlefield. You notice this as inflammation. So your wound gets to inflame, and which is the fluid I talked about. But this is a silent killer that rips holes into the bacteria to eliminate them or kill it. So you see, if the attack is not so bad, our immune system will take care of it. But I mean, if the enemies are weak, the immune system will take care of it. But when they're too strong and overwhelm your defenses, you'll die. So for this, your dendritic cells were collecting samples of the enemy, ripping them into tiny parts and covering itself within it. So why do they do this? Why? Okay, I'll tell now. That's because they need to find a right helper T cell which recognizes the bacteria. So we're going to learn about that more. You see, your dendritic cell goes to your lymph nodes that connects all your tissues with your immune headquarters. Your dendritic cells look for a helper T cell. Okay, this cell is what activates the helper B cell, the correct helper B cell. The correct helper B cell, which this B cell produces antibodies which kills the viruses or makes it hard for them to move. So dendritic cells will start rubbing with each other with all the killer T cells, helper T cells, and if one of them clicks with the antigens of the bacteria, it will be activated. Now the correct one is activated, and this helper T cell, well, it's quite slow, and it multiplies and activates the helper B cell. Now before that, they multiply and become two groups. Now one of those groups goes to activate the B cells, the helper B cells, and another one of those groups goes to help the soldiers, such as the macrophages. Now they are activated. Now the macrophages are exhausted, and the neutrophils come in. Not the neutrophils. The helper T cells come in. Now the helper T cells will give chemical signals, and in a heartbeat, the macrophage is restart. Okay, you can say like restarted. Now after that we can see that It throws in cells into the bacteria. And next we're going to learn about the helper B cells, guys. The helper T cell finds the correct helper B cell. It said killer, but don't believe it. It's helper B cell and activates it. Then it starts producing. It starts to multiply and rush to the battlefield, producing 2,000 antibodies a second, stinging and killing the bacteria. So it stings the bacteria and makes it hard for them to move. Okay, so they're like small protein puzzle pieces that can switch. Now, and more on this. Now, after everything is over, the the bacteria, after all the enemies are defeated, the macrophages and all those other cells start killing themselves to save resources. Now, not all of them. A few of the killer T cells become a few of the killer T cells become memory cells, which remember what kind of antibodies to make for and which B cell to activate for if this attack happens again, or what to do at that time. And the same way, some B cells will stay alive, producing low amounts of antibodies, keeping you immune to this disease forever. Now, wait a minute. How does we know that the correct killer T cell and B cell, which produces the correct antibody for everything? Now, this is because your killer T cells have permission to rearrange their genetic code, which can help them make protein antigens which can recognize any protein piece, which can recognize any protein piece. Now, this is how they can be recognized by anything. That's it. Thank you for this.